Welcome to Step 2 of Growth Track, where you will get the chance to hear how you can not only attend Bay Chapel, but truly become a partner with us as we do church together. After the video, you'll have a chance to take a couple of unique spiritual and personality assessments. Our hope is that you take a step towards understanding how your uniquely designed personality, coupled with your spiritual gifts that God has given you, help you find just the right place to plug in at church, which will be more than just serving, but fulfilling who God has called you to be. After the assessments, we would love for you to fill out the quick form and let us know what you've learned about yourself and how you can use your gifts to be a part of making a difference here at Bay Chapel.
Our heart is that as you take next steps forward and get more involved with Bay Chapel, that you would partner with us to help make a difference and see people's lives change for eternity. You know, one of the things that I love so much is when I hear people change their language from, Pastor, this is your church, to this is my church. That there's a mentality shift that happens when you are invested in a part and realize that you are the body of Christ, that you are part of making a difference and helping us advance the gospel and seeing lives change. And that's why we really want you to make a partnership covenant with us, that you're going to be connected and involved and help us as we accomplish the mission to reach more people for Jesus. There's a big difference between what it means to be a consumer and what it means to be a partner. Oftentimes we think of consumers as what I get out of it and what's in it for me. And oftentimes we show up to a church thinking that first, but we want so much for every person to move from what's in it for me to how can I be a part of making a difference in somebody else's life. We recognize there's a huge need for partnership. And number one, there's a biblical reason, because Christ is committed to his church. Think about the way Jesus loved us. It was sacrificially. He laid down his life for us. He set an example for us of how to walk in humility, how to love others even when they're unlovable. We want to do the same, that as people show up and maybe they're hard to love or maybe they've been through a lot, they need somebody's smile, they need somebody's hug to know that they're not alone. There's a biblical reason for it, but number two, there's a cultural reason, because we live in a super consumeristic society and it's all about what's in it for me. We're always asking that question and everything in our world is kind of gravitating towards selfish desires. But the church and this community creates an opportunity for us to go, you know what? How can I bless somebody else? How can I make a difference in somebody else's life? And number three, there's a practical reason, and it helps us know who can be counted on. I want you to know we need you. We need you. You are a part of the body that we are missing. And the strengths and talents and gifts that you're bringing to the community are going to help us do more, make a bigger difference and impact for God's kingdom. And number four is this. There's a personal reason. And that is this. It produces spiritual strength in your life. When you make a decision that God's going to be first, that above everything else in my life, I'm going to honor him, serve him, commit to building his kingdom, God is going to bless and strengthen you. And so there's just a few things that we say here when it comes to what it means to be a partner of Bay Chapel. Number one is I'm going to protect the unity of my church. I'm going to look out for others. I'm going to believe the best about people. I'm going to support the mission and vision of Bay Chapel. Number two, I'm going to share the responsibility of our church by praying together, by praying for your pastors, by praying for our church's growth, by inviting your neighbors and friends to come hear the good news of Jesus, by warmly welcoming those who show up on a Sunday. Number three, I make a decision that I'm partnering together to serve the ministry of Bay Chapel by discovering my gifts and talents. I don't know what gifts you have, if they're technical, if they're in hospitality, if they're in service, but you're bringing something to the table that's going to make a difference for God's kingdom. And number four, I will support the testimony of my church by being faithful, by showing up, by being a part, by living a godly life, by honoring God with the gifts and talents, whether it's giving financially, whether it's giving of your time, whether it's just giving of your gifts. There's a lot that you're going to be able to do to partner with us to make a difference at Bay Chapel, and we can't wait to do that together.